Hey guys, this is Helldozer from Zombieland Gaming, and I'm back playing a little bit of WoW. So as you can see from the title, this is going to be one of those videos where it was going to be, it's really not safe for work. It's not going to be a lot of happy words. Matter of fact, with some of the stuff I'm going to be sharing, I'm going to kind of feel like I'm probably going to be getting like a lot of downvotes and some bad comments, but honestly, I really don't care. There's some stuff that needs to be said that a lot of people are kind of sugarcoating, and quite honestly, fuck that. I'm going to be PvPing on my shaman, by the way, who has a very badass transmog. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like it. It's kind of freaking cool. It's kind of hot. Not going to lie to you. It's pretty sexy. And I'm going to admit, I'm probably going to be making a lot of dumb mistakes because playing and talking are just not always my strong suit. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. I watched the apology yesterday. Um, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. One of the other things are that trailer, that bullshit trailer for Shadowlands, and the whole Blitzchung thing. I'm going to be throwing out a lot of facts. I'm not saying every single one of them is going to be right, but they're going to be pretty accurate. First thing about that apology, what the fuck are you apologizing for? Could you tell me that? Are you apologizing because you got caught and the whole thing exploded in your face? Are you apologizing because you're trying to keep the peace and keep your Chinese overlords happy, and you want to keep us throwing money into the world of Warcraft that heals versus babyface, and other people have proven that there are less than 1 million subs right now? I'm not going to get into that. I'm going by the diametrics they used and everything that they showed, and it was pretty damn accurate, even without having access to the servers and the data and the information. Are you trying to keep your tokens selling and people buying your mounts and your Mickey Mouse bullshit three-tiered Shadowlands expansion discs? Probably all of the above. The thing that I don't understand is how you thought this was going to be a good idea. Now look, it's your show. If you don't want people talking that shit, you absolutely have the right to shut people down and do whatever. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all that shit doesn't follow you necessarily to the internet. It sure as fuck doesn't follow you to China. I can fucking tell you that shit for sure. I've seen the proof. But what I will say is that there has to be some kind of regard as to if you are going to not want people to talk about some things and just automatically block them, or make sure that the mods are fast enough to dump shit. Now, as far as this Blitzchung shit, I do have a question, and it's a legitimate question. I think the question needs to be placed by someone with a fucking brain, right? Are you want Blizzard also said in their apology that they wanted the players to decide the punishment, and this is where Blitzchung comes in. Are you not the punishment? That they wanted to talk about the players about the situation. The fuck were we supposed to do? Were we supposed to decide that what his punishment was going to be? Were you going to talk to us about your current potential business dealings with China? Were you wanting us to give our opinions as to what his punishment should be? I mean, seriously, what the fuck does that statement mean? I'm just curious. I mean, it's a legitimate question, and I think if I was Sigmund fucking Freud, I'd have a better chance of getting a goddamn answer out of a fucking apricot than I would those assholes. Because it's pretty clear they're only worried about the $1 billion in Chinese money that's sitting there. And that's fine. Hey, I'm all for it. Hey, everybody loves money. God fucking knows I do. I love money. But I don't have a magic money tree I can go fucking hit with a baseball bat the way Blizzard does and EA and all these other companies do, whenever they come up with a fancy mount. Which leads me to the next question. How many people actually understand what China is really about? Because I'm going to hit you with some facts now, and I want you to fucking prove me wrong. I want you to prove that I'm lying to you. I want you to go look this shit up, okay? Are you mad because your video game player got banned and lost all of his money, and then it was fixed for 6 months, and he got his money back, and the broadcasters got put on a 6-month ban? Is that the real reason you're mad? Or are you mad that because a few weeks ago in China, during these protests, which have been going on for weeks now, are you mad that, for example, in back-to-back weeks, a 14 and an 18-year-old kids were shot in the chest by cops for protesting? They may have gotten a little feisty, but they were shot dead in the streets. Are you mad about that? Or are you mad about the fact that China has been oppressing Tibet for decades? There's another little place called Taiwan that China's not real happy with, saying that they're solo and by themselves. Because Hong Kong, I'm not sure of their exact placement in the world GDP market, but I can tell you Hong Kong is a profitable place. They make money. It is why China wants them under control. Are you mad about that? Are you mad that because China has 1 million plus Muslims in what they call re-education camps right now, unlike Europe, who's letting them rape and murder and pillage their way across the fucking continent? And that's true. That's happening. Are you mad because they're in concentration? I'm sorry, re-education. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Use a Nazi term there. So, basically, are you mad that there is a regime right now in this world that is as bad, if not worse, as, how can I put this? A country that's in Europe that begins with G, ends with Y, that happened to have somebody called, it may have had a faction called the Browncoats running around in it at some point in its history. Re-education camps for 1 million Muslims. Just let that sink in. Are you mad about that? I would guarantee that anybody that watches this video or makes any sort of comments to me about what a fucking retard I am is bent out of shape that their video game buddy that they haven't heard of ever before that time, unless you follow Hearthstone, that he got oppressed, that he lost 10,000, the equivalent of pennies, and he got a year ban. So everybody's all running around, support Hong Kong. Do you know why you're supporting Hong Kong, though? If anybody in the comments could tell me one fact I have not mentioned, and there are tons of them, what are you supporting in Hong Kong? Why are you supporting them? I mean, you can hit me with my own facts. That's, you don't like the fact of the re-education camps, because they do call them re-education camps. Is it the one belt, one road theory? That's a fun one, because that's what this is. It's called One Belt, One Road. Look that up and educate yourself. Are you mad about that? About the way China is actually taking over? They're taking over a lot of places. There's a lot of places they've hit with this One Belt, One Road theory. Well, practice. Are you mad about that? Because I don't see people really understanding what the fuck is really going on in this world. Now, I can understand that there's going to be people out there that are going to be like, well, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He's an asshole. You're right, I am an asshole. But these are facts that you can't escape. There's tons of other stuff that they're doing. I mean, go read up what China did to the Tibetans. And I'd like to also bring up something else. Potentially some of the people's heroes out there. LeBron James and that other fucking goof that's running around with the fucking beard saying how great they're treated in China. Motherfucker, let me tell you something. Getting on your fucking knees on a basketball court or a football field for 30 seconds, tell me what change that's going to bring about. Because basically, you're sucking the dick of Chinese money too. And that's a fact. Every time you watch a basketball game, every time you buy a ticket to a basketball game, if you, what the fuck ever, you buy a jersey, you're supporting the fact that these people are deciding what you can and can't, what those players can and can't do. Now, it came out that they threatened with retribution or consequences, some shit. The guy in charge of the NBA. What the fuck are they going to do to him? Are they going to give him a bunch of fucking LSD-laced brownies? Are they going to fucking throw a flaming bag of dog shit on his front fucking porch? I mean, what are they going to really fucking do to this guy? Well, they're obviously they're gonna not let the NBA happen over there. Well, I don't want to get much farther into it than that, other than the fact that everybody, LeBron James, oh, we're all about, helping people, yet he's gonna suck the Chinese dick for cash. Well, that's kind of fucking two-faced, don't you think? So as far as politics, that's as far as I'm going with that. I just want to know what people are pissed off about. Is it the NBA? Like, I don't know. Nobody ever really talks about that shit. Now, as far as moving beyond the apology, moving beyond all that other shit, I don't understand the Shadowlands video. So what you're telling me is that Sylvanas has power now, right? And she's gonna go, and she's gonna go attack Bolvar and do what we couldn't way back when. Now, before you tell me how much of an idiot I am, we have to go back in time a little bit. Back when Thrall was in charge, every leader had their place at the table, and he listened to everyone. They got their dinner plus a 10% bonus for being a good Horde. Everybody was great with that. We're all good. We're all friends. We're all great. Yep, 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 meow, meow, meow. Then Sourfang gets put in charge, and he starts whacking out everybody. Night elves, goblins, who the hell ever. It didn't matter. He's whacking them all out. Now, honestly, and some of my opinions, I should have said this from the start, are going to be coming from Nobel and building on some of the theories that Nobel has put forward. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I think it's Nobel 887. I'm not sure. All you got to do is plug in Nobel, Nobbell, I think, in YouTube, and boom, it'll pop up. So, what this guy, he really should be a writer for Blizzard, but that'll never happen because he has some really good ideas, and Blizzard doesn't like good ideas. You get fired for that shit out there. So, everybody got their fair share under Thrall. BC comes along. Okay, we're fighting. Fight. Everybody got along. We're all good friends. Okay, we're friends at that point. Wrath of the Lich King comes along, and that's when I kind of feel that maybe Sylvanas had her mental break at the end. Because at the end, she goes, after everybody's left Icecrown, she has her mental break. She essentially kills herself. She throws herself off the top. She's falling through hell. She sees Arthas, but it's a young Arthas. He's begging for help, bloobity blob. Now, the Valkyr had no master, so the Valkyr attach themselves to her and say, listen, we'll all work together. One of the Valkyr sacrifices herself to take Sylvanas' place in hell. So, we go off to the next expansion, and Sylvanas summons Saurfang out to the forest. I want to make sure I get this absolutely correct. So we're going to go to Azeroth. We're going to come on over to Eastern Kingdoms. Nope, not there. Silver Pine Forest. So there's a quest right up in here in Silver Pine Forest that she summons them, and I can't remember. I don't know if it was Eterig. No, it wasn't Eterig. There was somebody else there. She summons Saurfang, and she says, "Watch this." So there's a pit of dead bodies. Boom, they're rezzed up, and Saurfang is like, "The fuck do you think you're doing? You had better not. You better stop this shit right now." She's like, "But we can't reproduce normally." I think when she went to hell is when she had her mental break. So moving along here, he says, "You're going to stop, or you're going to have problems," and that's the way it is. I'm in charge. Blah 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 blah. So the Saurfang is the general behind. I cannot remember his name. Please forgive me. Now, Nobel presents this idea that maybe they tampered with him and was like, look, maybe we should all work together on this one. That's never really proven. Now, one of Nobel's theories is at the end of when they go after Saurfang, that she has been raising undead the whole time secretly, and that she storms in. Every soldier fights twice, except for Torrent and Worgen. They're all having their little meeting. Everybody's telling the Horde what they're going to do, and she walks in and she goes, "By the way, I'm fucking king." I personally think it should have had a little battle. Kill off Greymane. He's a punk bitch. Nobody really cares about him. Maybe whack out some of the high generals and lieutenants. She says this is how it's going to be. She raises the fucking Alliance soldiers, the dead Horde soldiers. Everybody gets along, gets together. It's a totally different World of Warcraft now. So, I thought that was a pretty good plan, actually. But no, we have what we have. Well, in the interim, when he escapes, leading up to Warlords, she gets together with her sister, and they form this plan to basically poison him. Sourfang. They both agree to do this, so her sister takes the poison down to the kitchens. She's having second thoughts. She actually talks to one of the Pandarian cooks, and the Pandarian says, follow your heart, do what you're going to do, but you're going to have to live with what you do. She backs off. Now, meanwhile, Sylvanas is back at home. She's celebrating. It's party time. It's good times had by all. That this prick's about to die, and that's the end of that. Well, then she comes and she says, well, that's not quite what I did. I decided to not do it. And she flips her ever-loving shit. She goes, never again. I'm not going to love, not going to trust people. You people are pricks, blah, 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 on and on and on and on. And that's when I think the mental break went full bore, full hog. So, you have Warlords, and you have what you have out of Warlords. Now, I am not clear why Vol'jin would have made her war chief. They came up with this great story about the spirits and the what the fuck ever. Whatever. Listen. You can tell in that video, none of the other leaders think this is a great idea. They're like, maybe it's the drugs you're on, maybe it's the venom. Maybe you have just lost your friggin' mind and you have gone, you need to ride the short bus to school or to the graveyard, whatever you need to do. So she becomes leader, and that's when all shit breaks really loose in her mind. I think at that point, she is in full-on mental breakdown. She doesn't give a shit about anything. She's king. Legions happens, whatever. I don't really... There's nothing really that stands out in my mind about that shit. I think that they had something really good with Sylvanas, but they've let it go to the point to where... I'm about to get my ass kicked. Alright, we'll take that, we'll do that. I think that she... Got him. I think that she could have been a little bit more. The undead Undercity could still be going on. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible. Nobel could have that right. But I don't think Blizzard is actually going to go along with that, because if you think about it, it's a really strong idea. And it's not something that Blizzard is going to go with. That going back to the whole good idea, bad idea thing. Blizzard isn't real keen on really good ideas that would work out like that. So, Legions happens. It's a shit show on a Friday night. So enter BFA. Now, they swore to God we weren't going to work with the Alliance in this expansion. And I know you people remember this shit. I know you remember, and then BlizzCon is shitty for telling people what's going to be in the expansion. Do you remember the Warlords of Draenor, when we were going to be able to have our base moving around? We could, hey, you want it in Shadowlands? Hey, go have it in Shadowlands, bro. You want it over here? Hey, go have it. And then what happened? And then there was supposed to be all this other extra shit that didn't wind up happening. Whatever. But anyways, more importantly, I shouldn't be fighting on the road. This is a giant waste of time, and we're out of here. I've had it with this. We're done. I take about 50% of what they say, and then 50% of that, and you have 25%, and then cut that in half, and there's 12.5% that might actually be true about an expansion. That's just the way it is. So now, she kills Sourfang here in BFA. She's crazier than a frickin' long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Listen, you're not playing My Little Pony, World of My Little Pony, Rainbow Island. Let's make fucking cookies on a Sunday afternoon. You're playing World of Warcraft. I have no idea. I have no problem with them blowing up Tedrassil. Now, Lordaeron. Here's my opinion on Lordaeron. She should have made like the Alliance was winning, the Horde pulls back. You got the big shit. I'm going to get to Jaina the Whore in a second too. Don't let me forget about her. You got this ship. You got all this monkey shit flying around up in the air. Some of those guys in the underbelly of Undercity, they come up with triggers. Oh, the Alliance is running in. Ha 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 ha. They're going. Oh, we're gonna get Lordaeron back. Oh yay. Oh, the Alliance is so good. Rah rah sis boom ba. Then the undead start pouring out from the frickin' basement. Jaina sees what's going on. She pulls Weirin's punk bitch little kid who couldn't fight in a lion suit if his life depended on it. And maybe Greymane dies, a couple of others die. Bloobity blop, that's the end of that. And Lordaeron caves in on itself. You got to trade the 1-for-1 on the cities. That's a fair trade. I don't like that gas thing. Like, the Alliance could suck that shit out, or the undead could still live in there. I don't know, whatever. But they go with what they went. Now, look, they had a very strong leader in Sylvanas. They've taken the crazy road. I don't understand why they took that road. They didn't need to take that road. They really didn't. Now, here's my opinion on what's going on. She could have touched the void, saw the power, and that's her. She seeked that out. You can make a solid case for that she seeked out void. The void's very powerful. Bada bing, bada boom. She's got the void. Oh, look at all my powers. Now, in the video, I can't remember her name because I just don't care. She's, I didn't sense all this power. Yeah, bitch. You know why? Because you're weaker than her. You know why? Because she's got the power of the void, and she's better than you. That's why she's better than you. She's a war chief. She's leader of the Horde. She has the chance to touch things. You don't have to, because you're just a little helpy helperton running around opening portals for the hero whenever we need him, so shut your mouth and do your job. You don't need to worry about Sylvanas. See how that works? Very simple. It's a neat concept. Yeah, I'm going to get my ass kicked. But that's just the way that goes. Now, you want to say that she's tempted by N'Zoth. Okay. That's a much more different kind of a thing. You could make the argument that she chose to go with him. Because even though she's having a mental breakdown, she could see the power, be like, yeah, that's a really great idea. Okay, let's give it a whirl. And they go, she takes the offer the way that Azahara did. I could see the argument that he saw an easy mark and he tainted her. I could see that. I'll give you that one. But I don't understand this Shadowland, this reflecting, like this other land where where the dead heroes go. Like you're going into this you're walking through the veil. That's monkey shit there. You're not going to convince me of that. That's bullshit. But more importantly, I don't like the fact that they're going with this idea of interchangeable, of like, well, the Horde and the Alliance, we're going to get together. No, bullshit. You have a crazy bitch in charge of the Horde. This should be total war now. Like, we should not be working. I am a Hordist. I'm a Horde loyalist. I don't care. I will admit I have 2 Alliance characters. I have I have a 120 tank that I boosted to 110 so that I could make a Dark Iron Dwarf, which I will admit is the only race a Horde player should play on the Alliance because they are badass and they're awesome. The Horde just assigns bad leaders. The Alliance has them floating around, and somehow they're always in power. Take, for example, Jaina the Whore. Now, Jaina the Whore was a very interesting soul. Very powerful mage. Was boyfriend-girlfriend with Arthas. Made a little love. So she figures out, Thrall is actually a smarter orc, so we're going to talk with him. We're going to try and squash this thing, right? So in comes Jaina. Hey, we're going to be friends. So she opens up a line of communication, but let's not forget what happens in that war. The Horde killed her father after she talked him into backing off the bombardment. She's playing kissy face with Thrall, and the orcs kill him. Kill him dead. What does Jaina do? Well, she gets exiled from Kul Tiras. There's a death warrant for her if she ever comes back. It's just not going to change. But it doesn't end there. She spends the next how many fucking years in bed with the guy that leads the fucking group that killed her father. Like, I'm an old enough player. I played this game for 14 fucking years. I remember going to message boards and people saying, are they having sex? Are they sleeping together? Are we going to get an orc human hybrid that could end the whole war? I remember this shit. Nope. So then enter the goblins. The goblins are just like the old style orcs when you had Bleeding Hollow and Shattered Hand. The only difference is the goblins didn't attack each other. They just sold each other out over business. So at most you might get 4 or 5 deaths. It's like simple socialism, communism. It's just they didn't execute everybody. They just executed enough people to make them understand, listen, bitch, this money is mine, fuck off. And everybody fell in line. They were plotting. If anybody survived, they were plotting against them. It's just how it worked. It's fine. It's politics. Keeps everybody on their toes, right? So then they bomb Theramore. And now, Princess Leia, holy shit, my pants are on fire. I am going to just, what the fuck. This happens under Sourfang. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say Sourfang did nothing wrong. He probably did. I mean, killing your own people because they wouldn't get in line. Joseph Stalin. But I just kind of think that he could have gone about things a little differently. I mean, why not, your war chief, throw out some gold, throw a fucking side of Clefthoof to somebody, try and get him on your team. You don't gotta whack him the fuck out like this is goddamn mob rules, dude. Just take it the fuck easy, chill. We're all friends, guy. I'd rather have, an entire army behind me than 10 dead people and that entire clan looking at me like I'm an asshole. I mean, it's just personal preference, I guess. I don't know what to tell you, but that's my opinion. So the goblins bomb Theramore. Oh, and now Princess Leia, she's taking her underwear off, throwing her pad at everybody. She's peeing on everybody. They're all pissed off. Oh, my God. What did you think the goblins were going to do? Did it send you a birthday cake with a card that says, hey, I'm glad we're enemies? Come on, seriously, dude. Cut the shit. So then we're all enemies, blah, 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 blah. She's sitting at the trial of Saurfang. Oh, bitch, you spent decades, not decades, but you spent years in bed with Thrall. You knew who you were with. You knew. Running back to Weirin, telling him, and Weirin was not real thrilled about that. I'll have you know, if you go back and read the books and look at the lore, Weirin was pretty pissed off about that, but he appreciated the info. Trying to keep peace, but, it's trade-offs. You gotta choose your battles. But still, she didn't blame Thrall for her father's death. What? Okay, whatever. So, let's get on with the story. So, just fast forward. All that other bullshit doesn't matter. So, here comes BFA. Here comes Jaina the Whore marching into Kul Tiras with the hero. And there's Lady Ashvane and her mom. Mom leaves it up to Ashvane. Ashvane says, 2 thumbs way down. You're out of here. You were told not to come back. I want to be very clear. I played this. I did this. I went through the whole storyline. I went through the storyline more out of curiosity that I wanted to complete it. Because 1, it was all open and ready to roll because of the Azerite and all that fitness and catch up. And 2, I wanted to see how this snake-tongued bitch was going to talk her out of herself, out of execution for 14 fucking years. and getting her father killed. I just wanted to see. I'm not going to lie. I'm curious. I like to study human. I like to study, human interaction and how people work. It's kind of a thing of mine. But here we go. She marches in. You're the hero. You're with her. Put her in chains. Bloobity blop. No, there's something going on. There's something going on. We gotta get to the bottom of it because there's something going on. So you're running around like a one-legged retard chasing a hot dog down a hallway filled with school kids. You gotta go kill this guy. You gotta kill that guy. You gotta whack out this guy. You gotta go bury this fucker. You gotta put this asshole's head in the stand and shove a stick in his ass. So there you go. You're running around. You're doing all this bullshit. This guy, turns out, makes a deal with Ashvane that if Ashvane opens the gates to Kultiris, she's going to be the pirate king, queen, whatever the hell you want to say. I'm assuming genders. But if it has a vagina, it's a girl, so she's going to be the pirate queen. Bada bing, bada boom, unless she has a miraculous freaking mage or some kind of surgery that changes it. It is World of Warcraft, so who knows? Maybe there's something attached there. We're all just cross-dressers. Who the fuck knows? I'm not judging. But Ashvane's going to be the queen, and that's how it is. So let me get this shit straight. I am in Kultiris on my Death Knight tank. In the span of an afternoon, I figure all this out. Ashvane's been cultivating this shit for years. I, in the span of an after fucking noon, figured all this out, got everybody to talk and bust her. Are you kidding me? But we got to progress the story. Okay. Hold on. I got to take a drink of this. The stupidity of this is driving me crazy. Okay, so we go, expose her. Hey, Jaina's mom, listen, I know that this is your best friend, and she's been your best friend for, by the look of you, probably 30, 40, maybe 50 years. Not assuming your age, because good lord, I don't want to catch a lawsuit, but yeah, Ashvane, she's going to be the pirate queen. We tell her everything we found out. Bloobity blop, Mickey Mouse goes like that. And everybody is totally surprised. We did this in the span of an afternoon. Have I mentioned that? Did I mention that to you? And they let Jaina off the hook. They have a little meeting over in the cemetery over by Daddy's grave and all of this, and at her brother's grave, and maybe it's time to call this whole thing off. But now, let's keep in mind, she raised her father's ship to take to Lordaeron. I just want to mention the disrespect that takes. I'm not talking about some twisted sense of entitlement, or maybe she's feeling guilty, or maybe she's trying to look good in the eyes of Kultiris. She didn't ask permission to do this. She just does this. That to me is massively disrespectful. I don't know about you guys, but that shit, like, no. Like, absolutely not. Like, okay, you're Azeroth's arguably most powerful mage next to the dragon aspects before they actually gave up their powers, supposedly. No. I'm not even going to get into that. No. No. I refuse. No. I refuse to accept that. So that, in my opinion, is a giant lore issue right there. You have arguably the Horde's potentially best war chief ever. And notice I said the word war, because this isn't My Little Pony Rainbow, let's make some fucking donuts Abracadoo Island. This is World of Warcraft. Who could honestly destroy everybody. All bullshit aside. If she went with the whole Lordaeron undead thing, she could, because every soldier fights twice. I've said this before, but I'm hammering this point home. She honestly could do it. It is possible. The undead have mages. They have... okay, whatever. I'm rambling. I'm getting fucking wound up now. But anyways. they're painting Jaina as the goody-goody, and they're making Sylvanas the crazy bitch, the crazy goth bitch that you see in school that everybody really wants to date, but is too afraid to ask out because she's probably going to drink your blood and carve your heart out of your chest for a freaking Halloween ritual. And it's the middle of friggin' April, so think about that one. And they've just maligned it. They've just destroyed it. I don't understand why they want to do this in Shadowlands. Like, there's other ideas that they could have gone with. They could have gone with... They've been teasing this whole thing about killing a god, an old god, for quite a long time. But I am wondering if maybe they aren't lining her up to be a god. Now, just hear me out on this. Don't right away think I'm retarded and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I kind of have a theory on this, and I haven't seen this anyplace. It's just something I've been working out over the last few days. I don't know the lore of screwing over an old god. Now, if this is saying that N'Zoth has given her some sort of power, it could be argued that she gets a higher power, that she gets the same kind of power from the void. But I would think that getting an old god's power, tricking him out of it, would be an easier sell, maybe? Or it would make more sense. But whatever. The point is, she gets the power augmented with a Valkyrie or something that she has learned on her own, because they've never really covered what leaders have. I would like to point out, to further this point, we had the Tide Stone. Blizzard left a huge plot hole that Azahara spun around 3 times counterclockwise, clicked her heels, laid an egg, and all of a sudden the Tide Stone popped out of the egg. They never covered that. Keep that in mind. So one incident doesn't create an entire theory of theories built upon theories. I'm just saying it's a plot hole that could be exploited and used for later use at another place, at another time, for another reason. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm coming up with the answers. I'm not coming up with all the excuses. It's not my problem. But she becomes a god. She wouldn't be an old god, so she'd be a new god. Now, they've already stated years ago they will never end World of Warcraft because one side will always be pissed off that the other side won. So what's the best way to do it? I don't know what the balancing point to that would be, but it would seem like some kind of a good idea that they could potentially turn her into a god. She is in the best position to do so. This power that she has. Now, I'd like to talk about the part where she goes after Bolvar. The part where she goes after Bolvar is a very interesting thing, and that I'm not happy with it. I don't like it, but it's plausible. And here's why. This was still under Thrall's leadership with Arthas. Arthas, there was no leader strong enough to do that to Arthas. Wherever her power came from, I'm not having that discussion again, or why I think, where it could be coming from. She has every ability to defeat Bolvar on his own. She did not have that ability back then. She could break the helm. Now, Ner'zhul was the driving force of the Lich King. The souls were stored in the blade was broken, the souls went back to Never Never Land, where Mickey Mouse, the Easter Bunny, and Santa Claus all serve you ice cream on a daily basis, and 2 servings on Sunday. I don't know where the hell they went. They just went someplace, right? So, they go do their thing, bloopity blop, helmet breaks. The helmet breaking does kind of make sense, that it would open the portal to the netherworld, to, you know, the world within the world, the ghost land, whatever the hell you want to call it, whatever you believe, whatever. The problem is this: Sylvanas can be tricked also. One word, one name, very important name. And I'll guarantee you, old players will know it, new players will not. Vermathras. Vermathras was one of the 4 original, I can't think of their names right now because I'm on a roll. The tentacle, the Draenei, that were turned by Sargeras to become his dreadlords. Ha 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 ha! There it is, dreadlord. Sylvanas turned him. Well, Vermathras backstabbed her in Lich King. Or no, not Lich King. Legions, yes. The one that did trick her in Lich King was Putricide, I believe his name was. When he's dropped at the Wrath Gate, when he's dropping the poison bombs on the Horde and the Alliance. So there is that plot could make a strong argument that N'Zoth is tricking her, which puts her in a weaker position, which then takes away the new god theory, and she just becomes another bitch serving another master. Which, without turning this political, this tendency to have stronger female characters, the same people always have a tendency to destroy them. And this is one of my other rants, Star Wars had 3 very strong women. Mara Jade, Han and Leia's daughter, I can't remember her name, and Aurra Sing. Disney decided to destroy all 3 of them like they never existed. They didn't need to do all this bullshit that they're doing right now. They had 3 established strong characters. This is what, in World of Warcraft, Sylvanas is. If they take the tricked road, they've destroyed Sylvanas, and she will be forever known as a joke. It's not really up for debate with me, because I feel like she would be a joke. That she had all this power, she had all this strength, and she went out for a coffee break and came back dumber than a box of rocks, and an old god tricked her. I don't buy that shit. So, it is a plot twist. It could be something that could happen that they could do. I just don't fully buy it. I'm really hoping that they do more with these characters than what they're doing. They've brought Thrall back, now they've kind of buried him again. I watched some of the other stuff from BlizzCon. I haven't fully watched the whole thing. I didn't buy it. I absolutely refused to buy it. I've just been reading some of the stuff that's been posted online. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm going to get my ass kicked. I need to get the hell out of here. Oh, God. Please be deep water. Oh, God. Oh. Ouch. Okay, let's get... Oh, God. Nope, I'm dead. Oh, maybe not. Oh, stun him. Okay, run for your life, little buddy. Run. Get him, boy. Get him. So, I feel that they could have done a few more things than what they've really developed some of these characters as. And watching that video really kind of broke my heart, because there's so many other characters. They made Bane look like a little girl. Like, okay, he had his use. Now they've put him on the back burner. They're not mentioning anything about what's his name, the Goblin leader. I don't understand why the Blood Elf leader was there, killing what's her name, but nobody else was. I'm just kind of disheartened with everything that they've released and everything that they've shown. I don't think that it's... Oh, no, you can kiss my ass. I'm not fighting with you. I just kind of feel like it's weak. I don't want to quit based on unhappiness with the content or the things that are going along. I mean, I also raid on a warlock, and I sat through Ion the Idiot saying how, oh, well, you know what, we've totally screwed up warlocks. There's 6 months left in the expansion, 8 months. Yeah, we're just going to leave them the way they are. We didn't know that this was going to happen because, we've never made an expansion, or, actually play tested any of the dumb shit we do. We're just going to leave them alone and fuck off back to France. Sorry. So I've played through a lot of this stuff, and just some of these ideas that they're throwing out there just seem to be. It seems to be feeding a crowd that just wants to hold hands and play shiny happy people, and I'm not down with that. I like my solo stuff. I like running around by myself. If I got to help you kill something, okay, fine. Because I will admit that going out herbing and watching someone grab a valuable herb and then watching it disappear made me want to start crying. There are some good things that they did, but I don't think that overall what they're doing with character development, the things that they're doing, it seems like they're kissing ass to a certain kind of crowd. The the catch-up mechanics are very alt-friendly. That I have no problem with that. That's great. I don't know if, and to me that's kind of a catch-22 because I remember the days of having to go out and work for gear. Now you hit 120, you go out to Nejatar, run around, play skilledy dip and grab ass with some mobs, and you're decked in 385 gear, except for rings and trinkets, and whatever else you may be using. But you get a 370 weapon, which was originally supposed to be rumored a 415 weapon off of one of the very first quests there. Right when you fall off the waterfall and drop into the water, and you go into the cave, at least for the Horde, you go get the Alliance too. And you get those little quests, and we bebop around killing stuff because we're crazy. I don't know, I feel twisted about that because, yeah, I've geared some alts like that, but at the same time, not the raids have changed. Like, you don't have to be in a high-end guild, and that's kind of one of the other bitches I have, is that you don't have to be in a high-end guild. I can show you my tunes list and log into each one. 2 of my guys are in a raid guild, and that's only so that I can get AOTC. That's it. Everybody else, I will just go find pickup raids, and I know that other people in those raids are doing the exact same thing that I do, because at least a quarter of them, which could be 5 or 6, don't have guild tags. And that's fine. I'm not slamming that, but I think that let's work together idea has really kind of disappeared. It's easier to be a dick in WoW right now than it is to be a helpy helperton. And there are times, and some of my friends will tell you they have no idea who I am right now. I actually do kind of miss going and helping guildies. But it has become such a we're going to use you kind of thing for what we want that I don't think Blizzard has an answer for that. And that would be probably one of my other bitches and complaints, is that on top of all of this poopy character development with some of the poopy characters they've decided to take, they haven't done anything to really fix that. They've, as I said, they've put the boost in. You can boost to 110. They've put the gear boost in so that you can try and work out. But I'm not going to name guilds on Terrellian, but I have been in one of the things on Terrellian, I don't know how popular this is on other servers, is there's guilds that just mass invite people. You look at the guild list, there's no lie, the entire list is filled out in one day, and what I mean by that is when you open your thing, see, I'm not a guild, the one tab right down here on the bottom, you can look at the log. The log is filled with such and such invited, and the whole thing is just today. That doesn't inspire leadership. That doesn't inspire, hey, I want to give a shit about you guys. It inspires, okay, I'm going to use you. You're going to get me what I want. And that's when I'm done with you. I'll just move on to the next group of bros, and we'll see where it goes from there. I don't feel the loyalty anymore. And it's something I definitely do miss, as well as a good story. I don't think the story is good anymore. I think that they've kind of used up a lot of their ideas. And the proof of that is who is still there from the old days. In that apology video, he talked about, well, the high set of standards we have set for ourselves and the things that we... Bitch, the people that set those standards aren't there anymore. Mike Morheim. The dev team for Wrath of the Lich King If I'm remembering correctly, that group was gone by warlords. Moving on to bigger and better things isn't the problem, but when the product that they were working on, they have to watch it crash and burn. I just, I don't know, dude. I'm kind of running out of things to really bitch about, I guess, and I guess I'm going to probably be wrapping it up here shortly. It's been going for almost an hour, but I guess a better story with than what they're doing with Jaina would have been cool. I mean, they could have sent literally anybody as an emissary from the Alliance. And I think that they could have made the thing work better than what they did with Jaina. I mean, in an afternoon we solved that problem. Um, what they're doing to Sylvanas is shitty. What they're doing to a lot of the NPCs, honestly, as far as story is concerned, and I've read all the books except for the BFA book, because now I'm just terrified to pick it up. And I have the collector's edition. I've bought a collector's edition ever since BC. I'm just terrified to pick up that book and see the dumb shit that is in that book. I don't want to work with the Alliance anymore, and I don't want the Alliance working with the Horde anymore. I don't want to do it. It's World of Warcraft, not World of My Little Princess Pony. I want to have a goddamn cookie bake sale on Saturday with you. So, I don't know. I'm really just kind of disillusioned. I know that this video is probably going to get downvotes and probably a lot of comments like, you're a fucking retard and you're stupid and you don't know what you're talking about, and that's fine. But everybody makes reaction videos and their opinion videos, and this one's mine. So, if I said something you like, please like and subscribe. If I didn't, tell me I'm an idiot and give me a downvote. I really just don't know what else to say. I'm really just kind of disappointed. I don't think that I don't think Blizzard really has a good vision. And, just to bring it up in passing, Diablo 4 versus Diablo Immortal. You can't tell me they did Diablo 4 in a year, and the proof of that is they were talking about announcing that at 2018. Imagine if they would have done that instead of talking about Immortal. Diablo 4 over Diablo Immortal 1 year ago, they wouldn't have had a year of bad press. And I would like to mention something else, now that I'm on that one. There is rumor that they thought that BlizzCon 2018 was going to be bad. And I don't want to speak, I believe it was The Quartering. Jeremy at The Quartering did a video I watched. February of 2018, a lot of the uppers in Blizzard sold a lot of their stock. They were stock flipping. And there was an argument made that maybe it could have been insider trading, maybe it wasn't, whatever. But they dumped a lot of stock. Now, could they have just been doing that just to make a couple of bucks? Yeah, sure, absolutely. But there was an exorbitant amount of people that sold stock. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but there was stock sold, and BlizzCon 2018 was a massacre nightmare. And not much better, it looks like, this year for them. So, I'm going to end there. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back with something else later today. Maybe some Total War Warhammer 2 or 7 Days to Die. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.